Banner Knowledge Bowling. I'm Steve. Let's talk bowling. Specifically, I want to talk about practice and some techniques that you can use to improve. Now, I kind of see there's a couple of different ways to practice. There's certainly the technique practice, where we're trying to learn a skill or clean up maybe a weakness that we have in our game. So what comes to mind, for example, is maybe you want to learn how to throw the ball maybe with more forward roll, maybe with more side roll, and maybe that 3/4 roll, so that you have those three tools in your tool chest, so that when you need to pull out a ball that's more forward, you can do that technique. If you need to, maybe get around the ball a little bit more to get more length and more back end reaction, that you have that down. Maybe it's with your push away and your backswing. Maybe you're pulling it and you have too much muscle there because we haven't been bowling for 3 months, and you're really working on freeing up that swing. It could be a number of different things, but the focus of the practice is to try to improve on a technique that maybe you're lacking in, or maybe you're just trying to improve on the technique that you're really good at so that you're great at it. All of that's good. The trying is good when we're practicing. I think the side that we neglect, the side that we forget about, is we also want to practice so that when we're under pressure in a tournament, in a league, that we can perform. And that's where we want to get the trying aside and we want to be doing. So some of the things that I like to do to kind of perform under pressure, which is going to help me in a tournament and in a league, is to create a game like I got to make 10 pins in a row, and 7 pins in a row. And as you're going through it, maybe you get 1, 2, 3, and you get up to 7 or 8, and then you miss it. Now you got to go back to 1, and you got to go back up to 10. So each shot builds a little bit more pressure to get through the exercise, and it starts to train you to perform under the gun, under pressure, as if you're in your league and you need to mark to help your team win the game, or you're in a tournament and you need to get a strike to get inside that cut line. Some other things you can do, you can, for example, use the same ball, but try to strike and get a 4-bagger, rolling one ball through the first arrow, one ball through the second arrow, one ball using the third arrow, and the fourth one through the fourth arrow. And you got to get that 4-bagger in order to move on. That way, you're no longer trying or trying to learn a technique, you're doing. And I feel that when you're in a tournament, if you've been practicing that, and now you're faced with that situation where you need to make that 10 pin to win the team game, to make the cut line, or get get inside that cash number, you're going to have felt that in your practice, and you're going to be able to be in a more comfortable situation and perform when you're on the lane. So again, we certainly want to practice techniques. We want to clean up our weaknesses in our areas, and learn some different skill sets so we have some tools to use. But the second kind of practice is we got to do it while we're under pressure. And if we do that in the practice environment, when you're facing it in your next tournament, in your next league, you're going to be that much more comfortable because you're going to have been there, hundreds of times in your practice. Hope this helps. Why don't you tell me below how you like to practice, and maybe some techniques that you use so that you can learn how to bowl under pressure. Thanks a lot.